How's it going, YouTube? I got a very interesting video for you today where I will be talking about how I plan to have 10 income sources before the age of 25. I suggest that you stick around until the very end because I will be going over each income source, and at the end, I will also talk about 3 interesting businesses to add to my income sources for when I have enough money saved up for them. Let's jump into it. So the first income source is earned income, and earned income is the money that you will make from your job. So if you're a bit younger, your earned income will be what you will be making from your part-time job, or even if you have a full-time job. And if you're older, that money of earned income will be from your career. So I am in school right now to be a civil engineer. So my earned income for when I will be done school will be money that I'm making as an engineer up until when I decide to retire. The second type of income I plan to have is investments. Now, investments are stuff like stocks and ETFs and stuff like that, where you put your money into it for the long run and don't touch it. So, some stocks would be some nice value stocks like Apple or Microsoft and Facebooks and stocks like those. And some growth stocks would be ones that have some pretty high volatility where you're not sure if they're going to bring you 2, 3, 4 times your return or if they will lose you money in stocks like those. So it depends what you want to get into, but my investments I plan to not touch for a few years at least, probably 5 years, maybe even longer. And these investments are where I just plan to have my money there for a while, and then when I need the money to take it out for, say, a house or a trip or something like that, that's when I'll take the money out, but only when I think I've got all my return from my stocks and ETFs and those kind of things. The next kind of income I plan to have is from trading. Now, trading can be either swing trading or day trading, and I prefer swing trading just because if you are working in your career or your part-time job, or if you're just too busy, day trading won't be the best for you just because you wouldn't have the time of day to look at all these charts and go over everything. That's why I'm in swing trading, because I'm busy with school and work. So that way I can swing trade and buy something and then look at it a couple days later or even a week or something like that and make money that way. So I started trading in the summer of 2020, and so far I have got a nice return back on my money. And with my trading money that I make, this is money that I plan to use on houses, cars, and expensive things like that. That way I don't have to take my investment money out. That way it can stay in there long term, and that way I don't have to buy back into my investments if I need to take money out. So if you plan on trading, I suggest going with Questrade. Questrade is what I have. I'll put my referral link into the description. And if you use my referral link, you'll get money towards trading or investments, and I'll also get money towards trading and investments if you use my referral link. Now, I suggest starting with a small amount of money and scaling up to a larger amount of money once you feel comfortable that you are good at trading, and also even investing if you want to. But here we're talking about trading. So using a small amount of money at first will make sure you don't lose a whole bunch of money, and make sure you're good with your decisions and things like that. And then you can scale to larger numbers to make more profit. The next type of income source is dividends. Now, dividends are a distribution of some of a company's earnings to a class of its shareholders. Now, I got that definition from Investopedia, which is a very good site if you ever need to look at definitions or information about stocks and just terms like that. So, a dividend is an amount of money that a company will pay you from their stock. So a dividend yield is the percentage of how much a company will pay you per year. So if you have a $100 stock and the dividend yield is 10%, which is pretty high, then you will get $10 each year, most likely paid out quarterly, so 4 times a year. So dividends are good to have just because of their compound growth over time. If you set up a DRIP, you will be purchasing more shares with your income that you make from your dividends. So say you buy 100 shares, that money that you make from your dividends, so say if you had your 100 shares and it was 10% at $100, then you'll be making $10 for every 100 shares. So you'll be making $1,000, and with that $1,000, if you set it up in a DRIP, that money will go back into buying more dividends, and it will be like a compound growth, as you can see in the lower left picture with the dividend growth rate. So as time goes by, your dividends will also increase or decrease, but there's a good chance that they will increase the dividend yield. So the more shares you have, the higher the dividend will become. And over time, your dividends will compound growth for you. And this is a very good way to become rich in the long term. The next type of income we have is real estate. So essentially, this is where you buy a home and rent it out. Now, I suggest buying your home at 20% for your down payment instead of anything higher, just because with the leftover money you have, you can put that into buying more real estate and grow your real estate income even more. So ways you can make money is from Airbnb. So this is from putting it on Airbnb, and you will have people buying or not buying, renting out your house for days or weeks and stuff like that. And you'll be paid from each time these people decide to stay at your property. Another thing you can do is have people live there, so they will be paying you monthly for their rent. And this is more of a safe situation, especially for right now where we are in a pandemic. So there's not going to be many people traveling. So if you have an Airbnb, you're not going to have as much people as you would if there was no pandemic. So that is more risky. However, where you have someone living in your house, living in your real estate property, you'll be pretty safe with someone paying you monthly for allowing them to stay there. Next type of income I'll be talking about is from YouTube. Now, I'm not making any money yet. I'm not monetized yet. So what you need is you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours in watch time. So I suggest you subscribe to the channel and also leave a like on this video. So I see YouTube income as compound money, just because the more subscribers you have as time goes on, the more views you'll get, and the more views you'll get, you'll make more money. So at first you won't be making that much money, but if you continue to stick with the grind, the longer you're in it for, the more subscribers you'll get. The more subscribers you'll get means the more views you get, and the more views you get means more money you get. So that is why I am in YouTube, because I plan to stick with this for a while and try to make money and also grow my channel as quick as possible. Now, one of my favorite types of income is from rentals. So as you can see in this picture, you can have rentals from renting out a trailer for people to go camping. I know when I go camping, I see rental trailers at provincial parks. So if they can do it, so can you. You can put your trailer on any site and get people to go rent it out and take it out for a week, a month, whatever, and you can earn income with like that. Same as with the trailer here. If people need it for quads or skidoos, people can use that, and that will help them, especially during the hunting season or winter time. You can also rent out a Sea-Doo or a boat for a weekend. I know people will love to do that. Also, one of my favorites is construction equipment. So especially during the spring and summer season, people will be looking forward to renovating their property and maybe putting some soil down and stuff like that. So these are very expensive equipments, but you can rent them out for a good amount each day or week or month, however you decide to do it. And I see that as a very good source of income. Another one of my favorite types of income is from Kijiji. Now, I don't think people see the advantage to this as much, but it is very easy to make money off of Kijiji. First off, people put stuff on Kijiji for free. So if you're not looking at stuff on Kijiji for free each day, I suggest you do, just because you never know when something nice is going to be put on there where you can just get it for free and then go sell it for a couple $100s. Kijiji also has buy and sell, where you can buy something for cheap and sell it for a higher price. So my biggest buy and sell on Kijiji is I bought this Bowflex machine down here in the corner. So it was on Kijiji for $400, I believe. And I went to go look at the machine, and then I wasn't sure if I wanted it. So the guy said he'll do $300. So I bought it for $300. And then about a month and a half later, I put it on Kijiji and I sold it, and I had it up for $1,000. And I needed a friend to come help me deliver it just because he had a truck, and I needed a hand just because the machine is heavy. So the people offered me $100 to deliver it. So that was $1,100. And I gave my friend $100 to help me deliver it. So $800 is what I made, but also because I gave $100 to my friend, I made $700 just from one machine. So if you're not looking into this, I suggest it's something that you do. Another kind of interest that I make is from having money in the bank. Now, I know most of you might not like having your money in the bank and you want to have it in investments and stuff like that, just the same way, but you'll need money in the bank as an emergency fund and like a backup just in case you lose all your money or you need money for something. An emergency account is good to have, and if you can find a bank that gives you high interest on this money, that is the best to have. So I know people don't really see this as a type of income, but your money can be going down because of inflation. So if you can find a high interest account, that is best, because you're still making a little bit of money depending on how much money you have. Another type of income is from credit cards. So once you turn 18, I suggest you getting one as soon as possible, just because credit cards have many benefits towards them, such as cashback, rewards, and points. And that's the type of income you can make from credit cards, is from cashback and those kind of things that they offer along with them. But the real source of income I see is the longer you have a credit card, the longer you can have to grow your credit score, and the nicer banks will be to you. So when you go and decide to buy a house, the higher credit score you have, the nicer the interest will be on when you decide to buy a loan and those kind of things. So it will save you money in the long term, even if you don't think so. Credit cards are very important to have and only a must get when you turn 18. So those were my 10 income sources, but looking into the future, I plan on some more ways to make money, and one of them is through storage rentals. Now, I see this as a passive income just because all I'll need to do is be there for when people decide to move in and move out into the storage. So that's not much work to do, but I know that I'm underestimating this, but I see it as a good way to make money on the side. Two businesses that I would like to get into would be to create my own ice cream shop, just because I see an ice cream shop in my town and they make a lot of money, in my opinion, just because of how they price their ice cream and how busy they are. So that is one thing I'd like to get into as I'm older, when I have more money saved up. And also a bar. Now, I see bars being busy, especially on the weekends. So this is a good way to make money, in my opinion, just because of all the kids from university and those kind of people that like to go out and have a good time, just like myself. So I could see that as being a good way to make money in the future. That is all I have for you now. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and also leave a comment on what you would like to see next. Thanks.